I want you to imagine the ultimate nightmare. Not a monster under the bed, but a complete erasure of self. You wake up. The light is too bright, a flat, artificial LED white that hurts your retinas. Your muscles feel like they've been replaced with wet noodles. You're being poked and prodded by robotic arms that don't care if you're comfortable. This is how Ryland Grace begins his journey in Project Hail Mary. At first, he doesn't know he's Ryland Grace. He doesn't know he's a scientist. He just knows that his roommates are dead, long dead, mummified in their bunks. This is classic Andy Weir. He strips a character down to nothing but a brain and a problem to solve. And Ryland is very good at solving problems. He starts with the basics. Gravity. He drops a pen. It falls. But it doesn't fall right. Through some quick mental math, the kind of back-of-the-envelope physics that fans of The Martian will recognize, he realizes he isn't on Earth. The gravity is too high. He's on a ship, and he's accelerating. But why? As his memory slowly flickers back, we see the world he left behind. A world in a panic. The sun is infected. This isn't a metaphor. A microscopic organism, which he later names Astrophage, Greek for star eater, is traveling between the sun and Venus. It's absorbing solar energy at an exponential rate. In the book, Weir describes it with terrifying clarity. If we don't stop this, the Earth's temperature will drop so low that the oceans will freeze, and humanity will starve in the dark within 30 years. This isn't a maybe scenario. It's a mathematical certainty. And Ryland Grace, a man who gave up on high-level science to teach middle schoolers about baking soda volcanoes, is the only person who figured out how the astrophage works. He's the one who realized they are essentially tiny, biological heat batteries. They are the most efficient energy storage units in the universe. And now, he's on a suicide mission to find their weakness. He is 12 light-years away from home, and the clock is ticking for every man, woman, and child left on Earth. To understand how a middle school teacher ended up on a starship, we have to talk about Eva Stratt. In the movie, she is played with a cold, steel-eyed pragmatism that is almost frightening. Stratt is given administrative authority. That's a fancy way of saying she is the dictator of Earth. She can seize any factory, bypass any law, and draft any person she needs. Because when the sun goes out, nothing else matters. In the book, Weir gives us these incredible flashback chapters that show the sheer scale of the Project Hail Mary construction. This isn't just a NASA project. It's a global effort. They are building a ship powered by the very thing killing the sun, astrophage. They've harvested tons of it, using it as a high-output fuel that allows the ship to reach relativistic speeds. But here's the catch. The mission is a one-way trip. There isn't enough fuel to get back. The three-person crew was supposed to be the best of the best, people willing to die to send the data back via small, high-speed probes. Ryland Grace was never supposed to be on that ship. He was the science advisor. He was the guy in the lab. As Ryland's memory returns on the ship, he starts to remember the darker side of the mission. The desperation. The Project Hail Mary isn't just a feat of engineering, it's a graveyard of ethics. Stratt didn't care about feelings, she cared about the survival of the species. She realized that the other two scientists on the mission died in transit because of a freak coma gene complication. Ryland was the only one left with the right DNA and the right brain to finish the job. But as he looks at the dead bodies of his crewmates, he realizes the magnitude of his solitude. He is the last human being within light years. He is alone in the vacuum, surrounded by a ship he barely remembers how to fly, heading toward a star called Tau Ceti. Why Tau Ceti? Because it's the only star in the Petrova line that isn't dimming. It has an immunity. Ryland's job is to find that immunity, bottle it, and send it home before he dies of old age or a ship malfunction. It's the ultimate Hail Mary pass in human history. Ryland is doing a routine scan of the system when he detects something. It's not a planet. It's not a comet. It's another ship. And it's looking at him. This is where Project Hail Mary moves from a survival story to the greatest first contact story ever told. The alien ship is shaped like a giant D20, a rough, dark triangle. It's not sleek or sci-fi. It's industrial. It's built for a purpose. Ryland realizes that if the astrophage is killing his son, it's probably killing others. Another race has had the exact same idea: go to Tau Ceti to find the cure. Enter Rocky. Now, if you haven't read the book, the way Andy handles the alien is brilliant. Rocky doesn't speak English. He doesn't have a universal translator. He communicates in chords, musical notes that sound like a pipe organ. He doesn't have eyes. He sees through high-frequency sonar, like a bat. He lives in an atmosphere of pure ammonia at 200 degrees Celsius. To him, Ryland is a creature living in a freezing, oxygen-filled vacuum. The next hour of the movie, and 100 pages of the book, is a masterclass in linguistics and cooperation. Ryland and Rocky don't just wave at each other. They build a shared language using mathematics as the foundation. They build a tunnel between their ships with a small glass barrier so they can see, or hear, one another. Ryland names him Rocky because his skin looks like oxidized igneous rock. They become science brothers. It is the most wholesome, high-stakes friendship you will ever see. Two different species, from two different stars, sitting in a hallway in the middle of deep space, sharing their knowledge of physics to save their respective homes. Rocky is a brilliant engineer. Ryland is the theoretical scientist. Together, they are a complete team. But the clock hasn't stopped. The astrophage is still eating their stars. They have to find the predator, the thing that eats the space algae, and they have to do it before their life support systems fail. This is where the movie really hits its stride, showing that the universe is terrifying, yes, but it's also a place where two lonely souls can find common ground in the pursuit of the truth. Now we get to the MacGuffin of the story, the thing that can actually save the world. Ryland and Rocky have reached their destination, and they find exactly what they were looking for, a planet where the astrophage exists but isn't killing the star. Why? Because of a predator. Ryland names it Tomiba. Think of Tomiba as the ultimate cosmic pest control. It's a microscopic organism that eats astrophage for breakfast. But catching it isn't easy. In the book, Andy goes into painstaking detail about the physics of orbit and the beetle probe's Grace uses to sample the atmosphere of a planet he can't even land on. When he finally gets a sample, it's a moment of pure triumph. It's the light at the end of the tunnel for Earth and Rocky's home planet, Arid. But this is an Andy story, and science is a fickle mistress. Just as they think they've won, disaster strikes. In the movie, this is one of the most visually tense sequences. A leak occurs. Not a big one, but enough to let the Tomiba escape their containment. And here is the nitrogen disaster that book fans remember so vividly. Ryland realizes that these Tomiba have evolved. They've become resistant to nitrogen, which was supposed to be the one thing keeping them contained. Suddenly, the very thing meant to save humanity is eating the ship's fuel. The astrophage that powers the Hail Mary is being devoured by the Tomiba. The ship is losing power, the life support is flickering, and Rocky's ship is in even worse shape. The chemistry here is fascinating. Ryland has to figure out how to breed a version of Tomiba that isn't nitrogen-resistant while literally suffocating. It's a race against biological evolution. Watching Ryland use his middle school teaching skills to conduct high-stakes genetic engineering in a dying starship is peak cinema. It reminds us that in space, there are no small mistakes. One microscopic leak can turn a savior into a silent killer. Throughout the movie, Ryland remembers himself as a hero, a man who volunteered for a suicide mission to save the children he taught. But as the final pieces of his memory click into place, the screen fades to a final flashback on Earth, and we get the most devastating twist in the story. Ryland Grace was never a volunteer. We see the final days before the launch. The two primary scientists have died. Eva Strat, the dictator of Earth, looks Ryland in the eye and tells him he's the only one left who can go. And Ryland? He breaks. He isn't a hero, he's a coward. He screams, he cries, he begs not to go. He tells Strat he doesn't care if the world ends, he just wants to stay on Earth for the few years of life he has left. In the book, this scene is even more gut-wrenching. Strat has him forcibly drugged and strapped into the coma bed. She wipes his memory of the fight using the very drugs that caused his amnesia, hoping that Space Ryland would be a better man than Earth Ryland. This reveal changes everything for the audience. We've spent 2 hours rooting for this man, only to realize he's a draft dodger who was kidnapped for the greater good. It forces us to ask, is Eva Strat a villain for stealing his life, or a saint for saving 8 billion others? Ryland has to grapple with this mid-space. He realizes he only became a hero because he forgot he was a coward. It's a deep, psychological layer that sets Project Hail Mary apart from every other space hero movie. It makes his final choice in the next act even more powerful, because now, for the first time, he actually has to choose to be brave. Ryland and Rocky have done it. They've bred a stable batch of Tomiba. They divide the samples, say their tearful goodbyes, and burn their engines in opposite directions. Ryland is going home to Earth to be a hero. Rocky is going to Arid to save his family. But as Ryland is halfway back, he notices something in the Tomiba farm. They're dying. He realizes that Rocky's ship, which is made of a different material, is unintentionally killing the Tomiba. Rocky won't know until he gets home, and by then, it'll be too late. His entire race will starve. Ryland has enough fuel to go to Earth, or enough fuel to turn around and save Rocky. If he turns around, he will never see Earth again. He will die in space or on an alien planet where the air is poison to him. He doesn't hesitate. The man who was dragged onto the Hail Mary kicking and screaming turns the ship around. He saves his friend. He sends the cure to Earth via the automated probes and flies into the unknown. The ending of the movie, and the book, is one of the most beautiful happily ever afters in sci-fi. We jump forward several years. We see Earth, through the probe's data, beginning to thaw. The sun is bright again. But the final shot isn't of Earth. It's of a dome on the planet 40 Eridani. Inside the dome, Ryland Grace is an old man. He's eating synthesized hamburgers and drinking me-made water. A group of young Iridians, Rocky's children, are gathered around him. He isn't a scientist or a martyr. He's a teacher. He's pointing to a chalkboard, explaining the laws of physics to a bunch of spider-like aliens. Rocky taps on the glass, fist-bumping his friend from the other side. Ryland Grace didn't just save the world, he found a home where he truly belonged. It's a perfect ending to a story that started with a lonely man in a white room and ended with a teacher in a classroom 16 light years away.